Never know when I'm on because it always does a little twirly thing. Ah, there I am. I think I'm on now because it always does a little twirly thing and you never know if you're on or not. Well, hi, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday's Tales. Tonight, our story is between Madeline and Pete the cat checks out the library. And it's kind of hard. Wasn't quite sure which one we were going to be doing. But in a 6-3 vote, Madeline is our winner. And I love these books. I haven't read them in such a long time, but when I saw them at the library, I was like, I've got to do this for Tuesday because, oh my, because they're fun. And I'm really excited that y'all hopped on tonight. I hope some of y'all were able to click on my link on my page and watch the Lorax last week. I pre-recorded that one so that you would have it to watch while I was on vacation in the Keys with my sister. I had a really awesome fun time, but it is good to be back with y'all today. So let's get started with our book. I hope I say this man's name right. Madeline by Ludwig Bemelmans. Bemelmans? Somebody probably knows that better than me. Hey, Miss Hazel. Yeah, comment to say hi and share your favorite book with me, and maybe it'll get picked soon. All right, let us begin. In an old house in Paris that was covered with vines lived 12 little girls in 2 straight lines. In 2 straight lines, they broke their bread and brushed their teeth and went to bed. They smiled at the good and frowned at the bad. And sometimes they were very sad. They left the house in 9:30 in 2 straight lines. In rain or shine. I'm glad they have little umbrellas. Those are so cute. They always talk about it raining a lot in England, but they never say if it rains a lot in Paris. Anyways, in rain or shine, the smallest one was Madeline. She was not afraid of mice. Nope, she is not. She loved winter, snow, and ice. To the tiger in the zoo, Madeline just said, "Pooh, pooh." And nobody knew so well how to frighten Miss Clavel. In the middle of one night, Miss Clavel turned on her light and said, "Something is not right." Little Madeline sat in her bed, cried and cried. Her eyes were red. And soon after, Dr. Cone came and rushed out to the phone. And he dialed Danton 106, which I'm guessing is the French version of 911. Danton 106? That's not French. I don't know. "Nurse," he said, "it's an appendix." Everybody had to cry. Not a single eye was dry. Madeline was in his arm, in a blanket, safe and warm. Hey, Mama Jill. In a car with a red light, they drove out into the night. Madeline woke up 2 hours later in a room with flowers. Madeline soon ate and drank. On her bed there was a crank. And a crack on the ceiling had the habit of sometimes looking like a rabbit. Outside were birds, trees, and sky, and so 10 days passed quickly by. One nice morning, Miss Clavel said, "Isn't this a fine day to visit Madeline?" Visitors from 2 to 4 read a sign outside her door, tiptoeing with a solemn face, with some flowers and a vase. Aww. Those are so cute. In they walked and said ah, when they saw toys and the candy and the dollhouse from Papa. But the biggest surprise by far, on her stomach was a scar. Not only that, she is proud. You work with kids like I do, or know any kids like I do. Anytime they get hurt and they get over it, they're like, "Check it out, I got a scab," or whatever. They do that. "Goodbye," they said. "We'll come again." And the little girls left in the rain. They went home and broke their bread, brushed their teeth, and went to bed. Oh, Madeline's bed's still empty. In the middle of the night, Miss Clavel turned on the light and said, "Something is not right." And afraid of a disaster, Miss Clavel ran fast and faster. And she said, "Please, children, do tell me what is troubling you." And all the little girls cried, "Boo-hoo! We want to have our appendix out too." "Good night, little girls. Thank the Lord you are well. And now go to sleep," said Miss Clavel. And she turned out the light and closed the door. And that's all there is. There isn't any more. The end. There's lots of Madeline books at the library. I could turn it into a Madeline saga. I think there's like Madeline and the Bad Hat. And I think there's one about her going to school or something. But yes, Madeline the saga. All right, Bible story for tonight. It's called The Good Shepherd. Grown-ups, you can find that in your Bible in Psalm 23. David was a shepherd, but when God looked at him, he saw a king. Yeah. Sure enough, when David grew up, that's just what he became. And David was a great king. He had a heart like God's heart, full of love. Now that didn't mean he was perfect, because he did some terrible things. He even murdered a man. Yeah, he did do that. You can find that in not in Psalm. You can find that in 2 Samuel chapter 11. To my North Greenville friends, Bathsheba. Yes. He was that was bad. No, David made a big mess of his life. But God can take even the biggest mess and make it work in His plan. I need a new heart, Lord, David prayed, because mine is full of sin. Make me clean on the inside. David's prayer was heard by God. He forgave David and made David a promise. I will make you great, David, and one day a king will be born in your family, and he will heal the whole world. That's Jesus, by the way. Did you know that David was a songwriter too? In fact, his songs were so good, they might have been in the top 40 charts if they'd been invented then. David's songs are like prayers. They are called psalms, and this one is called the Song of the Shepherd. It's probably number 1 on the psalm charts. That's a little cheesy, I'm not gonna lie. And it goes like this. God is my shepherd, and I am his little lamb. He feeds me, he guides me, he looks after me. I have everything I need. Inside my heart is very quiet as lying still in soft green grass, in a meadow by a little stream. Even when I walk through the dark, scary, lonely places, I won't be afraid, because my shepherd knows where I am. He's here with me, he keeps me safe, he rescues me, and makes me strong and brave. Yeah, I got called out for a spoiler alert. The whole Bible's a spoiler alert, by the way. He is getting wonderful things ready for me, especially for me, everything I ever dreamed of. He fills my heart so full of happiness I can't hold it all inside. Wherever I go, God's never stopping, never giving up, unbreaking, always and forever love will go too. God gave David that song to sing to his people, so they could know that he loved them and would always look after them like a shepherd loves his sheep. And one day God was going to do something that would inspire thousands upon thousands of new songs. God was going to show his people once and for all just how much he loved them. Another shepherd was coming, a greater shepherd. He would be called the Good Shepherd, and this shepherd was going to lead all of God's little lambs back to the place where they had always belonged, closer to God's heart. Also Jesus. The end. Well, that was fun. All right, so next week, instead of it being we're going to go with a Madeline saga. We're going to go Pete the Cat saga. Pete the Cat versus Pete the Cat. Which Pete the Cat book will I read? So, next week will be Pete the Cat, A Pet for Pete, or Pete the Cat Checks Out the Library. Which one? Vote now, or vote next week. It doesn't matter. Just vote. And I will see you next Tuesday, right here, 7:30. Bye, friends. Thanks for tuning in.